getting ready to go live here. I want to show you a little thing we got going on. These sailboaters, they get out here and sail from, there's a little sailing school right over there to the left. These little kids, they come up and they zip around the boats. Might see one tip over here. That one out there is about to go. Yep, he made it. That's pretty cool. All right, and bring it back around. All right, hello, live at 5. Let me get set up. That should be good. That should be good. All right, let me get my phone on, the computer. Or actually, I could get the computer on. We just got back. We rushed back to do our live at 5. We went and I had to do some runs for parts. We stopped and got a little dinner on the way back. And mellow mushroom, if y'all have ever eat there or heard of it. Let me get this computer up.
Put some beer in the fridge. It's funny, refrigerators don't have like a boat name. You know, the toilet on a boat is called the head, and the kitchen's called the galley, and the fridge is a fridge.
Yep.
Doesn't matter where you're at. Cheers, everybody.
Holy crap! Let's turn it out. Jay Hen, well, you're all good for it usually. Let me see what you said. Let me get it opened up here on the computer.
I love the view of this place, and the lighthouse across the way is to see it in person is where it's at, because capturing it on film is tough at night. You know, seeing that beam fly over your head and they light up the cylinder of the lighthouse, and it's surreal looking. It's just so cool. It adds so much to this area, and it's quiet. There's no boats zooming in and out, and occasional flock of sailboaters learning how to do their thing, how to harness the wind. It's a very nice place. I'm happy to have spent, before we leave, it'll be a couple of weeks here.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice.
Trying to get up, keep talking.
Where's the cue cards? What am I supposed to say next?
All right,
I don't know.
tell you what, you follow up with that, because that was under things, where we are, exactly where we are.
Yeah, actually know where we are this time. St. Augustine. The municipal marina is around the corner, and you know, when we pulled up, it struck me that, wait a second, St. Augustine, and I looked it up, and it's the home of some people that I follow on YouTube.
Good.
And I don't watch too many YouTubers anymore. I didn't watch that many to begin with, because it was my job to make videos, not watch them. So I would limit who I watched, and now that I'm on a boat and my Wi-Fi is limited, there's not too many people that I can watch. So, yeah. However, there is still one channel that whenever they post something, I watch it. I don't know what it is. It just speaks to me. You guys might not find it as intriguing. It's funny because I think they should have more subscribers.
I know it. I don't know why they don't.
And that is Courtney and Pete. The name of their channel is Accidental Sailor Girl. And it's really Courtney's story about how she gave up traditional life, moved on to a sailboat, and then she met Pete, and then they moved on to his sailboat, and they did an Atlantic crossing, which they didn't really get that on camera, but my goodness, man, what a wonderful, carefree kind of, seemingly, everything from the outside looks easy. I'm sure they have their woes, but they certainly seem to be doing what they love to do. So whenever they post something, I'm always watching it, and they're right around the corner. Literally, they're like, from here, they're about 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
From the municipal marina, it's even less. So I made it a point to go over there and hang out with them. Got a couple copies of their book to give away in the future that she and Pete signed along with myself. And I already had one that was signed. I bought. They're musicians too, so they played one. They have a CD that I had in my truck, and whenever I got in my truck for over a year, as soon as I started the engine, the CD would start playing. So I heard their music over and over and over again, and it never got old. And but I got to know some of their songs by heart, and they played one of them for me, and I don't know, it gave me goosebumps.
I'd say he's a bit starstruck.
A little bit, yeah. I was a little bit of a fanboy hanging out over there. I was like, oh my God, I see you on YouTube all the time.
Although Courtney was saying the same thing.
Yes, yeah. But you know, when we get that also, when people see us, you know, they're like, hey, I've seen you on YouTube, and I feel like I know you. I get it. When I saw Courtney and Pete at their wood shop, I felt the same way. I'm like, holy crap, I know you guys. So it was really neat. It was a good experience for me. On top of the history of the city and the lighthouse and just the laid back atmosphere here is pretty awesome.
It is. It's been a nice place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got to decompress a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had some drama in the past, and with weather and moving, and you're trying to juggle your life with the boat life, and that's settling in and calming down. So everything's kind of like coming into play.
Yep. Yep.
So it's good.
Jay Hen, thank you, buddy. Mike and Marty have a beer on me. Thanks so much. Also,
appreciate that.
Richard Comer, $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. I appreciate y'all.
Very nice.
These super chats help, and we really appreciate them, y'all. Happy Adventures of Happy Hours, New York. Hey, bud. Kayak Seven Seas. What's happening from Asheville, North Carolina? Many of our fans. All right, we got a few things we'll go through real some notes and stuff.
I haven't done a live at 5 with you since I mentioned it on my channel that this is where you catch up, and this is where you find out where we're at live right away. And you know, I hope there's some new folks out there that are joining us for the first time, maybe.
Yep, that's a good point. I don't say that enough. So I'm trying to get a little more flow to the things. We're trying to make show notes so that we have a little bit of, make sure we cover all the points. So we got a few things here, and then we'll for the people that are new, then we'll try to go back and answer some questions. In the beginning we would try to answer the questions, but you get so distracted from the story you're trying to tell or whatever. So
yeah, let's do a 10-minute live at 5 and 1 hour later.
Because so
it kind of drags on, but no, there's just a lot to tell.
So first thing is the Great Loop Up is in Jacksonville. We're 32 miles from Jacksonville as the crow flies. Might be a hair more, and we feel very confident we'll be there. So it is next Sunday at noon at space number 25. That's the space we have. We have some followers are helping us. He's matter of fact, he's staying. He's got a campsite. He's bringing his smoker. So next Sunday, the 24th, if you're in the area, we're gonna get a couple butts. We're gonna do some barbecue butts. Probably will make some macaroni and cheese. But if anybody, this is kind of like what we're trying to shoot for is like the old family reunion sort of thing. Y'all been following us, and it's kind of like what it is. So bring something if you're coming. If you don't have to. Don't let that stop you if you're not a cook, because not everybody is. Yeah. But bring a little side. If you're a specialty, you know, that's why I'm making barbecue nachos. That's kind of my specialty.
I'm not exactly the gourmand myself, you know, like I'm not enraptured by food so much, you know.
Yeah, right.
I'll drink my dinner, thank you very much. I don't need food a lot of times.
Yeah.
However, it is nice to sit and break bread with folks.
There's something about that. That's obviously. So next Sunday, the 24th, Huguenot State Park, space 25. I'll put that in the show notes. Okay, my next thing is my new book is out, the book launch is Thursday night, and it's going to be here live on YouTube as well as Facebook. If you're in Central Florida, it's at Tanner's in Winter Haven at 7 p.m. YouTube friends, people that are on here, I need a little thing from you. If you have a question, submit a question in the comments, and I'll pick one and use it. About what is a question that if you follow our channels, a subscriber would know. So basically, I won't use this one, but like, what is our boat names?
I was about to say, yeah.
You know, everybody should know Good Times and Kontiki, but so come up with another question if you want to, you know, participate. and then I will use that question on the live, and then we'll send you something because you obviously couldn't answer.
I'm curious to see what the question is.
So that might be
That'd be
kind of
interesting.
fun. But if
Yeah.
you will, if you're interested in helping and supporting with my book launch, the reason I'm doing it on a certain day, I'm trying to rank up on Amazon. There's a whole system about that. So if you're a reader, this is book 2 in the Fire and Arson Caribbean Adventure series.
Am I in this one?
No,
I'm not in this one. I'm not buying it.
But I think it's a good book. It's getting good reviews. If you're not a reader, I'm actually not a reader, although I don't have it on Audible yet, but we will get it. Eventually it'll be on Audible, but maybe gift it to a fireman or whoever. But I appreciate any support on that.
Any fireman that loves boats.
Yeah, it'd be really good for that. But so I hadn't talked about this very much, but I will in the future. Captain Ike's adventure goes up the East Coast. So y'all following along on this, you're going to know a lot about it. You're going to know, and I'm going to do a little special thing about that, but I won't get into all
I
that.
see reflections of Captain Ike in this guy
Yeah,
all
so
the time.
Captain Ike, and then I have there's some characters in there that are my alter egos. So anyways, it's fun, and I want to involve y'all in it, but that's for a later
I'm gonna
time.
bring up a fireman that like boats, right? So my ex-fireman is on a boat, and we're in the market for a boat too.
Very good. Yep.
So what's
So
the
we're
deal
looking
with
for a dinghy. I think I told y'all I found out that my cousin had a boat that my dad had, and that will be in next season, but I need time to work on it, so we're not going. So we're trying to find a dinghy.
that? A second dinghy would really come into play for us jockeying fuel and stuff, and they're hard to find.
They are.
Anything? What are you looking for? A little center
You
console,
know,
12 foot.
Well, if there was something
14
like that, not any bigger,
Yeah.
because 12 would be ideal. We're open to, as we're moving north, if y'all know anybody's got one,
Yeah.
we'd really, I know.
We're looking to buy
we're
one. We're not
yeah,
looking for gifts.
Yeah,
We're just
we
saying-
want to buy one, but we'd like to stay in the $2,000-3,000 area. We don't want to get because
Depends on how nice the boat is. you
well,
know? I
that's
mean,
true.
What
That-
kind of
that's
deal
true.
we get. But how big the motor? What did we looking at? Something that's portable, like what are you, 25
Yeah, not much bigger than that because
or less? Maybe
Yeah.
even a 15.
Yeah.
A 15 will be
15,
real nice.
20. We've seen them running
Yeah.
around.
Something big enough for like 2 people, dogs, provisions. Maybe without the dogs and the provisions, 3, 4 people max.
Yeah,
Hard bottom, no inflatables. What with oysters and stuff. Worried about that.
yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely in the market for.
So if y'all are run across one, we
We
figure
got
we'd
one for
ask
sale.
and get your eyes,
us
all
up.
these thousands of eyes out looking.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
so much easier when you guys are looking for us as well.
Yep. So
than just us looking, because it is kind of there's many situations where it would be very handy to have an additional dinghy.
yeah, so it's also going to be an adventurous boat because there's a lot of times we're not taking the big boats up areas that we don't know, but when if we have something like that, we can jump in, all of us, and go. Like we're already planning some Cumberland Island actually, which is only not very far.
Yeah,
We're going to do our
camping
first
trips and
camping
stuff,
trips
sure.
there, but there's a lot of other places like that. If we had a little smaller boat, I'll have one next season, but there's no way I can do it because I want to do it right and I don't want to rush that. So we'll decide we'll buy one and then probably sell it when we're done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it'd be really cool though, because it'd be like the old days where the long boats would go out and anchor up, and then they'd row to shore on smaller boats. We're looking to do the same thing because we've seen many small boat ramps that we just can't fit in. But it's so tempting. It's right there. We want to take the dogs to shore. We want to get provisions, and we can't because we can't get to shore. I mean, we could use the Bass Raider, but it's a small dinghy. And for the 2 of us and the dogs, and it's just,
yeah, that'd be a bit much.
yeah, life would be easier with two boats, 2 dinghies.
Okay, here's a grout said, I'll ask you, what did the fireman say to the clumsy baker?
I don't know. What did
Stop dropping rolls. Man, you should have sent me that one privately so I could. That was
That's
a good
funny,
one.
yeah.
That's a good one. Let's see. How you guys doing? Zach asked. We're doing good. Doing a lot better. that'll bring us here in just a minute. I'll answer a couple questions, but we'll talk a little bit about motors. That's always a top. We're making progress.
Yeah, we're getting there. I mean, there was a spell when I thought Jacksonville was unobtainable. I thought, things are going wrong so fast, so continuously, there's no way we're going to make Jacksonville. And I expressed that, it was part of me just, lamenting, falling into that despair or whatever, and we've since kind of pushed through that. And I told Mike, I said, that's going to be a big thing for me at the end of the loop, if we should complete it, is finding how to deal with all these adverse conditions. And it's not something that only I have to deal with. Everybody, even you care if you live in a house or on a boat, you are going to find times in life when life really challenges you, and you got to ask yourself, what do I do? Do I keep going, or do I give up, or how do I get through this? Sometimes it seems impossible, and I'm hoping that this trip teaches me how to deal with those situations. I think you deal with it better. Sometimes it seems like you're aloof, like you're not really caring, but I mean, I know you do, but you're not letting it just crush you. And it can really, the stresses of being on the water on your own vessel and your engine's breaking down.
But you know what? Part of what we're doing here is bringing you to real.
Yeah.
We're not going to just show you just because there's a lot of people following, they're wanting this information. And they don't need to know just the rosy times. There's downsides.
Sure. Yeah.
And the fact is, matter is, if you buy a boat, it's going to break down on you. That I can assure you. Y'all know I say it all the time. Mm. Something on a boat is always breaking. And you just got to have that mindset. Yeah. So it doesn't get you too down when it does break, because it's going to break.
I got a house once. That was a mess too.
Yeah.
Man, because the market fell apart and all of a sudden the house wasn't worth nothing, and then the roof was leaking, and the central air broke, and the septic tanks were overflowing, and so like I'm saying, it is a lesson. This adventure to me is a lesson in how to deal with moments like that. So the engines have been part of that, having to replace both of them so soon in the journey.
Before we get to that, let me say Chris Turner is the guy helping us out. Thank you, Chris. That we've been in contact on by email, but he's doing some work. He's bringing that grill and all. So y'all, Chris Turner on here, give him a shout out. Appreciate him helping out.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
We'll meet him. We'll see him on. We'll be there. He's actually there a little early. So Chris, we're going to be there a little early too, but I will be in touch. So let's talk about the motors. Everybody's always asking about the motors. So we've definitely made progress on the motors, on the leakage. That was part of where we were coming back from, getting something to work on that. So we'll have some more detail, definitely by Jacksonville. We may not have it fixed because we may not have found, if in the worst case scenario, what we think it is, which is the heat exchanger bad. We may have to find somebody up there, but we made a big find with help of a guy, Kevin from Bob's Marine Discount in
in St. Augustine. Where is he?
No, he's just south of us in
New Smyrna.
New Smyrna. Basically,
really?
he's just north of it's Port Orange. So this guy is absolutely amazing, bro. I'm telling you, if you live in Port Orange and you need info, and he obviously sells parts. He owns a marine store.
When we had him on the phone for so long, I would have hung up on us. I would have said, dude, I don't know what, and he did not give up, and he was very persistent. He had you sending pictures to him after hours.
Yeah, personal cell phone, and he did a fabulous job and diagnosed it with pictures.
He found a problem with the motors.
Problem.
Again, there was a metaphor for life, because up until then, it was something that I thought, that's impossible. It can't be that. I'm eliminating that as a potential problem that I'm having with these motors. So we never really addressed it. And he saw it and convinced us that was not only possible, but probable.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we started looking at this problem on the engines.
We'll know more. We'll know more here in a few more days. But they're running everything. It's better than it was, that's for sure. But without going into real long detail, it would take a long time. Yeah. we're close. We're very close on them. So we're going to be going to Jacksonville.
We're
And
close to the leaping that hurdle, and
Yeah.
what's beyond is
yeah, there'll be another one. So
traveling. That's
Yeah.
going to be part of it.
yep, no doubt.
You know, going to new places and not knowing if we have enough fuel to get there, and or a place to stop when we get there. That's a strange thing. You know, we travel sometimes and there's no place to pull over, and it's starting to get late, and we're tired and grumpy, and there's just no place to stop.
Yep. Sometimes we've had to push right on through the night till we could get to safe harbor.
Yeah. Or just
We've done
even places that are questionable sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, we might drag anchor, we might go aground, we might.
Okay, I will tell you on a good note, and I'm gonna make a video about this, and I'm gonna tag his name in there because there's been somebody persistent about getting bigger anchors, and I got a bigger anchor up here, and I ain't got to use it yet, so I can't. But I guarantee you, it's gonna hold the boat. I took my smaller plow anchor
You
off.
and your guarantees.
Yeah, we'll see, but I'm quite sure Good Times won't be pulling anymore. So
my first anchor that I brought on this trip is sitting right there, and that's like 35 pounds.
Yep.
It's an enormous Danforth like anchor, and the very first place we stopped in Fort DeSoto, I'm dragging anchor and I can't catch.
Yep.
And I thought that was the one thing that I don't have to worry about is my
Yep.
anchor. So size,
Yep.
not always.
But see, I had a backup plow anchor that I gave him, and
Yes, and
so
that's done
far
better. A smaller anchor did better.
it's smaller, but it's the kind, and it's held. Although we were kind of looking, he still needs a bigger anchor, but
Yeah.
just so for peace of mind.
I think we both have spade anchors. Though.
Yeah.
And those are pretty good. They kind of dig. They have a lot of weight.
But I think I'm about solving my problem with any pulling. So, but anyways,
Not
somebody said young clutch ENT. Is that ear, nose, and throat, or EMT? But like the dog names, it's talking about like a question. Yeah, that might have been a good one.
Yeah.
Don't put it on here. Put it on the after when this goes live, because I don't see this. I mean, I could find it, but it's hard to go back in there and find it. So this is going to go off of live onto my regular videos, but in the live section, just put your comment there, and then I'll look for it. Marty, you've seen a tree grow out of another tree before. Yeah. Talking about the state tree in Florida.
Yep. Yeah, that was what do they call that? It's like a strangler vine that envelops a palm tree.
Wait. I can't have them put them on here because then everybody, well, it's all right. It don't matter.
I'm as clueless as you. I don't know what he's doing.
No, I was thinking if y'all put them on here, everybody will know what the questions are. But
What's the question going to be used for?
as a giveaway, whenever during the launch, it'll be just a giveaway question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to involve my YouTubers, so you'd have if you want to. But
I am working on. I'm in contact with Pelican, who has another boat lined up for me. I don't know when I'm going to get it, but when I do, I'm going to take the kayak that's on the front of my boat. It's the Argo with the really nice seat, and I love that kayak. But man, I could bring it back home, but I think I'm going to give it away. And Pelican put it up. They said, you do whatever you want to do with it, and I think I want to give that kayak away. So I'm not sure when. I don't know if I give it away at this upcoming event, then I'm without a kayak until I get the next one from Pelican. So it might be a little bit after that. It's another reason to stay tuned to this channel, because this is where I'll talk about it. We'll do a meetup, and then I guess we'll do a raffle or something. We'll pick a name, and somebody gets to go home with that kayak. I'm not sure. It has a lot of accessories on it. I'll keep the anchor trolley on it and some other things, but
be a good giveaway.
I don't want to give that boat away. I love that little kayak, but it is what it is. So yeah, there are giveaways coming, and again, I got some of the books that Courtney and Pete gave me the other day, and then you have books probably. You can do giveaways.
I'm gonna do some giveaways at this meetup, so
nice.
We'll have stuff at this meetup. So a couple people, welcome to Jacksonville, Matthew says. Thank you very much. Hope you're there, Matthew. Buffalo.
That's exciting because it's we're almost out of Florida.
Yep.
That's a big step.
Yep, it is. As far as what we've done, down, through, over, and way up.
Yeah.
We've made, so we're over the 500 mile point, which is over a third probably of this
Like,
this summer's leg of the trip. So let's see. Evening captains, no boating yet for Buffalo. Snow in the forecast tonight.
I heard about that, man.
Ugh. Good times dreaming. I hear you, Christopher.
What's nice is we've been having cool nights where we can close the boat up, because occasionally, we're getting no-see-ums, and that's going to become more frequent.
Yeah.
The bugs are going to be a recurring issue. This open window nonsense is no.
That's going to happen in Georgia and Carolina very soon. So I'll just tell you, when I went to my brother's funeral wake, I was coming back down, and I usually do this when I'm in the truck if I'm passing like where we may potentially stop. So I was out there in St. Mary's across from Cumberland Island looking for a spot if we needed to go to land. Oh, Lord, I pulled up at the boat ramp, opened my door, and stepped out. I wasn't out 30 seconds, and I got back in. The no-see-ums were as bad as I've ever seen them. Unbelievable. I just pray to God they ain't out there on Cumberland Island like that. But Pete said they weren't. But it was terrible. If they're that bad in the middle of the day, you can't even stay near it. I mean, you can't stay outside. It was
slather yourself up with bug spray. That's all.
That and I was actually looking for some Skin So Soft. That's usually they say is one thing. But anyways,
DEET works pretty good too. Lots and lots of DEET.
Y'all see on here Mountain Man Jim Reddick. He's my buddy. He's North Carolina. He's in blue. He's a moderator on the channel, so he'll help out saying some stuff here. But he said, boat, break out another 1,000. No question about it.
House, break out another 10,000. That's what house means. All you people living in houses, you're crazy. I can't afford a house. I can afford a boat. That's something's perspective.
Mark says, it's important to know when to step out of the way. It's hard when you're used to doing everything, making progress. What do you think that means exactly?
Maybe deferring to help from others,
Oh, yeah.
Because
no doubt.
And then, I'm not the type to do that either. I feel like I'm burdening people when I ask for help. So I'd rather do it myself than to bother somebody. Like you were pretty persistent. And you called that fella Kevin up, and Kevin was more than happy, it seemed, to help in return. He was like telling us, dude, call me back because I want to know. I got to know what your problem is. He was intrigued.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, what, I would have hung up on you guys a long time. Like, dude, I don't know what your problem is, and get somebody else to come out and look at it.
And you know what Kevin said? This is the kind of person he is. I called him up and I said, Kevin, this is where we are, and we think it's this. And he says, like, listen, Mike. He's like, I'm not going to sell you anything until we diagnose what the actual problem is.
Yes.
And then he, at one point in the conversation, this is how he is. He's like, listen, we have to stop. And he's like, and you might get offended, but he's that kind of person that he knows what he's talking about. So he realizes there's a lot of people that think they know the problem, and he knew what the way things should be. So he told me, he's like, stop. We're going to diagnose it, and that's what we did.
He reminds me a little bit of Mark from Bullfrog Creek and Marine in Ruskin.
Called Mark many a times.
How many times you go into Mark with a part in your hand, and you're like, I want this part, and you got the money right there, and he's like, he says, I'll sell you the part, but that's not going to fix your problem. And you're like, but, and he's like, dude, it's still good. And he shows it to you right then and there at the counter, and he's like, take it back and try it and do this and that. And you find out that you didn't need a new part, and he easily could have taken your money.
Yep.
And he's Kevin seems very similar.
Yep. So, and we're working on that as far as trying to provide and help people know. That's why when we find somebody like this, they're not paying us. We're just telling you because we know that they know what they're talking about.
It's so nice to be able to trust somebody.
Yes.
That they're not trying to screw you over.
Yeah. We're out on the loop. We'll pay, but we need to know that the person.
Just like Angel, who made the motors.
That's right. That's right.
Me. I mean, it was just.
Which brings up the
point.
point.
It was above and beyond.
We're in Jacksonville next. Just in the event, this what it is. Does anybody know a specialist like what we're talking about in Jacksonville that brazes or does
heat exchangers?
Heat exchangers.
Yeah.
Because that could be it. We may be able to solve it without that, but we're putting out the question because you know what? Even if we don't need them, somebody else may. So, so we're just putting it out there. If anybody knows anybody specialist heat exchanger. Jacksonville's a big city. It's a water town, so
Yeah.
hopefully
like
there's
radiator shop. Or
a
something
good
that does it.
radiator shop or whatever that specializes in them as well. When do you think, Matt asked, when do you think you'll start to feel like a vacation instead of always having trouble?
When I'm done. When I'm done, I think. That's what I think.
All right. Well, he says here, I'd
Any
love to see you
passenger on my
guys.
boat would feel like that immediately, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But for me, as the captain of the boat, it's not my job to be too relaxed.
I'd love to see you guys jumping on a kayak first, hammering some
yeah.
fish. Well, now we've had that. You just ain't seen the video yet. So the one place it was a challenge in Anchorage, it was a beautiful next morning. Both got out. It was in like it's a river, but then there's an estuary that worked out
The Matanzas, I think.
in the Matanzas River.
Yeah. So much backwater.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, ankle deep, knee deep stuff. Fish jumping, dolphin
Yep.
playing.
Didn't catch a lot of fish, but it was a magical morning.
What a fishy place.
Yep, yep. I did it here. I got on the kayak the other day. Y'all, if y'all follow me, you'll see more some real-time pictures. Kind of hard to do them in videos yet, although I'm working on the way for that. But on my Facebook, Michael Steen, you'll see these. I usually post these, but I spent 4 hours out yakking this whole area because the last time I was here, I caught 2 big redfish right around the corner here. But to me,
it's probably a good thing that I can't see my face. I
yeah,
don't know what
we're good.
Yeah, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. But it was beautiful. Spent 4 hours, like I said. So we are doing that.
Yeah.
It ain't all working on motors. Trust me. It ain't all working on motors. That is a part of it. But
some days it's just getting fuel and then provisions and doing stuff to make sure that the boat is a fun place to live.
yeah,
You go to the grocery store and you get back within an hour. Here, it's a little bit longer. It's amazing how the days go by.
yes.
Holy
Yep.
goodness gracious me, the days go by so fast.
But today was a good day. I got a nap. I took a nap for about an hour and a half or something like that. I don't even know. Woke myself up snoring. That's how good I was sleeping. So there's days like that. Trust
Yeah.
me. They're there.
Yeah.
Entertainment. Let's see. Let's see here. Coming down. And I'll come back to that.
I'm gonna get another beer. Hold that thought.
Let's see.
I'm in the galley.
Charles asked, Marty, do you have any Zoffinger stickers? Needs one for a golf cart. For the golf cart
I do have.
building.
Where is this person?
Yeah, where are you? And are you
Not close, I guess.
are you going to be at the meetup? That was
I do have a hand.
Charles Stevens.
Have him send a
Send an email to Mike at michaeljsteen.com and I'll forward that.
Yeah. I need your address. That's what I need. So I can ship something
Chuck
to you.
says they're calling for 3 to 6 foot of snow in Ohio tonight, and then 70 next week. That's some bipolar.
Yeah.
We supposed to get that part of that front. What day is it?
I know.
Thursday. What? We're going to get a front pushing down, but
Yep.
it won't be snowing. That'll be sure.
Yeah, it's still not summertime patterns yet. Summertime patterns, the wind will be calm most of the day until the squalls come through, and then it's chaos for 20 minutes, and then it's over. I'm thinking, I follow Mike's weather page, not this Mike, a different Mike. He's in Clearwater, I think, local guy, amateur meteorologist, and he has this enormous following. Mike's weather page. If you like him on Facebook, he's primo, man. We rode out a couple of hurricanes with him talking, giving information, and it's just, he's a gem. But he's already starting on Facebook to talk about the upcoming season, showing maps of storms in the past, and we're going to be going in spots where, if we're not moving along quick enough, they could be starting to come up and
Well, where we need to get through is North Carolina. That freaking place gets hit more than Florida does. That little nose out there, you got to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Grout asked a question that we were just talking about a while ago. Do y'all ever scrub your bottoms?
What
you talking about?
Right, what, that's a little personal.
No.
Oh, you mean on the boat?
Yeah, and then he
Right,
said
yes.
copper coating your hull.
Yes, no.
We were just talking about, I'm getting a little bit of growth. It doesn't look like barnacles. It just looks more like scum.
I need to get down there, and I
Someone need to
probably
do mine.
would have already, but we came through what was it? Fort Pierce was beautiful. The water was very nice, but there were jellyfish.
Yep.
Lots and lots of jellyfish. And I'm like, yeah, no. No. I'm not swimming with jellyfish. So I've been waiting for them to go away, and they kind of followed us. We've seen them very close. I haven't seen them here in this spot, but this spot's pretty dirty. The water's dirty, and it'd be hard to see. And I've been inundated with other tasks. So
hard to see that big great white coming up.
Yeah.
No, actually, that's where you get bit is in water they can't see because they don't know exactly what you are. You're better off in clear water, no doubt about it. And I'm not scared of sharks. I do a lot of diving.
Yep.
But if people get bit, they get bit in dirty water like this.
Or they got food on them or something. They listed to an attack. So I'm not worried about sharks either. But it's work. It's definitely work. I already did the bottom job on the Bass Raider. I pulled it out of the water a week ago. Longer than that now. Two, maybe 3 weeks. Heck. I pulled it up on a beach, I pulled the motor off, and I put it up on its side, and I scraped the bottom. There was a good amount of growth on it. And then after it's all scraped, then I use a scouring pad, and it was 2 hours of vigorous scrubbing just to get that boat. It's a little tiny, it's a 10-foot thing. And I kept thinking to myself, my boat's next. And I almost thought about hiring somebody to do it. I'm so stubborn. We like to do everything ourselves, so.
Yeah, we should
have a bottom job party where it's like you bring your respirator, and I've got an oilless compressor, and we can all get down there and scrub. It'll be powerful fun.
That's like painting the fish or painting the fence.
Yeah. No. It's actually fun. You do the aft section in the back, and you can do the transom, and you can do up the bow, and that would be a fun get together.
Here's a good one. Christopher asked, that's a good question. Whoops. Hello from Navarra, Florida. Any issues with finding space at marinas? Is it tight over here it's tight over here in the Panhandle?
People in the marinas, when I ask them, they say they've never seen it this busy.
Yep.
And there's probably a correlation with COVID and how people want to be out on the water.
Copy that, storm along. We see you storming along.
That's pretty funny. All right, I'm going to turn that off. That's the marina right there, actually.
Yeah, that's the marina.
It's funny that we haven't heard a lot of chatter.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people at the marina have been telling us that it's been packed. The mooring fields, everything.
Yeah. Matter of fact, there was a couple times they said they didn't have mooring balls.
Yeah, we had to loiter around for a few days, and that could have been ugly if we were waiting for, a place to get out of weather or something.
Well, which we just stayed on the hook, but there are good places to stay on the hook here, just outside the mooring balls, some a little tighter than others. So, it's not a major problem, but we don't want to be in mooring fields too much.
This place is like $15, $16 a night.
Yeah, it's cheap. This is cheap.
And the peace of mind. You talked about how well you slept. When we first got here, we pull up to where you were talking about anchoring, and I'm like, nope, no, sorry, I'm not doing it. Because we were so close to other boats. And my philosophy was, if my anchor drags and I go up on a shore or something, or I damage my own boat, then it's on me. But if we break free and we entangle some other people that are already anchored up there, I can't live with myself. I can't do that. I can't risk other people's stuff. So I turned and I was leaving, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going, but I can't stay here. It's too tight. It just wasn't safe, and I felt embarrassed having that little pirate flag on the front of my boat because a true pirate wouldn't give a damn about anybody else. But I couldn't do it. So then, as I was leaving, I called the marina, and I'm like, dude, I know you said you didn't have any spots, but I'm back in the salt run here in St. Augustine. I see a bunch of empty mooring balls, and he was like, all right, hold on. And he actually got me one, and I turned around again, and very close to where we were going to anchor, there was an empty mooring ball, and I went and I hooked up to it. Now we don't have to worry about drifting and dragging, and again, we've been here for a couple of weeks, so I don't know what it cost. It was like $100 or something for a few weeks stay.
Yeah. It's worth, like, y'all know I had to go back, and then I'm going back so when I go back, I either want to be in a marina or on a ball, so you know, it's too hard to watch two anchored boats. That's too much for him. So
Yeah,
anybody,
I would get
it
no,
ain't
no
just
sleep. And
yeah.
it's
Hey, here's an interesting thing. Did you know that this whole deal is not even real, and there's a green screen behind us?
What are you giving it away for?
I don't know why are we doing it. Why are we spending? Let me see. You check my banking account. I'll assure you it's real.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
right. That's true. I'm surprised my bank hasn't given me trouble about buying fuel in this place and that place and that place.
Yeah. Rich Belfour, hunker down. Yep.
Belfiore.
Belfiore, yeah,
Right?
I can't never get it.
Hunker down. Yeah, drink up. Yeah, when we watched Mike's weather page, Rich was with us
Yeah.
at Mike's place when Irma came through, and the term that everybody kept saying was hunker down.
Hunker down.
You know, if it's smart, you don't have to evacuate, just hunker down. And it got to be a game where every time we hear somebody say hunker down,
That is right. That was fun.
which Rich, I hope you're probably drinking like a crazy man. Now. Like, oh my God, he said it again.
Hunker down, hunker
Yeah,
down, hunker down. You know what's funny is that thing was supposed to come to Tampa.
So we
So they
evacuated Tampa.
evacuated to Polk County. It came right over top of us in
Yes.
Polk County.
Yeah. And that, believe me, that crosses my mind because we're on boats, and if we're in a marina, and it's supposed to go somewhere, and we evacuate to get out of there, it can follow us. So they're crazy creatures, those hurricanes.
The good thing is you typically know a week out, and then 2 days out you really know the pattern. But we just going to have to run from it if it. I actually was just talking to my insurance carrier today, a little while ago,
Mm-hmm.
about redoing my insurance and all. So that's interesting. But
Yeah, there'll be a lot to talk about. A lot of things we worry about that we shouldn't worry about, and there's other things that we should be worrying about that we have no clue about. And that's it'll be fun to see how it unfolds.
come to North Carolina, we'll order fantastic weather for you guys. So no
Sweet.
worries.
Thank you.
Everything will be just fine. That's
the
cool.
Southern hospitality.
All right, we're gonna hold you to it. Who is that? Alan Duncan.
Yeah, it'll be neat to meet a lot of people along the way. We've already met a bunch of folks, and we're not even out of Florida, although that's a big part of this trip. But it's so daunting. That's one of the problems if you have anxiety is to look at a map and realize how far you still have to go. And I don't think that's the wisest thing to do.
Keep up.
Mike talked about that. He said that a good thing to do is to only look as far as you can see. The analogy is to.
It's real, baby. It's real.
The analogy is I can only look as far as the horizon, and I point for a spot there, aim for it. When I get to it, then I pick some other spot, and it's you do it in short steps, right? Just
He said, stick your hand out the window. It ain't real.
Yeah. I wonder what you were doing.
I always thought bipolar swing both ways, like Eskimo that swings both ways. Well, we definitely in Florida have bipolar weather. Y'all ain't the only ones up there, trust me. This time of the year, especially, it'll be cold one day. Now, what we call cold, what y'all call cold, two different colds, but
Sure. Yeah, I put the fan on last night. Sometime I had everything closed down,
yeah.
and
I'm looking at mine.
yeah, but I turned it on. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And the boat ramp over there. There's some people out there, hooting and hollering, and there's the houses right there. And we're pretty far away. And they were pretty loud, so I put the fan on not to hear them, because not only that, it was for the white noise. It was starting to get a little warm.
Cindy just joined and asked about how's Kontiki running. She's running. We'll give you probably a good update near Jacksonville.
She's probably running better than she ever had.
Yep.
Despite the fact that I'm losing all that coolant. I don't know what's going on with that. We might have it licked. We might not. We've tried so many things and failed that I'm not going to believe that anything is going to work until it actually works. So, like, we may very well be onto what's wrong with it, but I'm like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it because everything I tried fails. And that's that's insanity, right? When you try the same thing. Well, we are trying different things. But we put food coloring in the thing. It looked like St. Patty's Day. It
Well,
was
we had a green
everywhere.
village. Yeah,
we had a
were-
green village. What a nutty thing, you know. Mike rented a pressurizer, and we're doing everything people are telling us to do, and it did help a little bit. It gave us a eureka moment.
Yeah. We
Uh,
definitely solved a big problem, but there's still little issues that we got to work through.
Sure.
Let's see. Phil says that he's 40 miles north of NYC in Haverstraw and Stony Point Marinas area. It can be if he can be of any help when we get close to New York.
Sure.
Thanks, Phil. For anybody that's new, if you have anything or need to reach out to me, Mike at michaeljsteen.com.
I would like to spend some time, and I don't know how that's going to work, because at some point I need to get back to Florida. I guess I don't need to, but that's the plan at least. The plan is to get back to Florida. I still have access to that shop down there. I've got some of my toys down there that I want to play with, and I want to get in some fishing, and I don't want to be freezing. So I want to be in Florida next winter. However, I really am going to be a little bit of a vagabond living out of my backpack. So I can do pretty much whatever I like. It's the joy of having a remote job. So if somebody says, hey, come up to Maine and hang out for a little bit, like, Pete and Courtney may be up there on their big wooden sailboat, that'd be freaking awesome. Love those two. Anyways, there's that, and other people that may say, while you're here, you got to go salmon fishing in Oswego, or I don't know if they do that in the winter or not.
Well, I don't tell you every one of them, but we get people, we get emails, and just as we're working up, we'll respond to them.
Yeah.
But if you're the good fishing in your area,
Mm-hmm.
send me those emails, and we definitely want to hook up with you. We have hooked up already.
Chad?
Yep, Chad.
Yes. Yeah.
Showed us some spots.
Sure. Well, I was actually there the day
Yeah,
before.
yeah, already
with-
fishing.
Another friend of mine who's
Yeah.
also named Chad, and I got myself a 23-inch trout.
Uh-huh.
Whew. First I got a little trout from my kayak, and it was fun. He was, when I say little, he was like 16 inches, which is keeper size. And I was like, man, look at that. I think I'm going to eat trout tonight. And then the very next fish grabs my Mirrodine and starts pulling and digging like a linebacker, pulling all this line off. And me and my buddy were both like, dude, that's got to be a redfish. Trout don't pull like that. And when it came up to the surface, it's not a redfish, it's a trout. Holy mackerel. Beautiful big trout. 23 inches is a nice size. And just to lift him out of the water, and he's hefty. And supposedly that's not a big deal for over there.
Yeah, he was. They were telling me.
There's a lot of trout there.
So any Jacksonville fishers?
I had lemon on the boat. Yes. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Any Jacksonville fishermen? Y'all hit us up. Come on up to the meetup. We'll be there for a few days. We're in no hurry. Then Cumberland Island, which I know is way more remote.
Mm-hmm.
Fishing should be better there though, because it is so remote.
Yeah.
Fairly remote.
We've passed through some places where I know fishing is awesome, and we just even though we're taking the slow route along the Great Loop, we still have to keep going. Traveling is important, and unfortunately, we're going to miss some of these places that are really good. It doesn't take much to twist my arm though and say, Marty, you got to stop coming fishing. I'm like, okay.
Bill said, tell Marty I bought a Pelican Catch 120
Sweet.
because of him in the middle of putting accessories on it. Very cool.
Excellent. Yeah, the Catch 120 is a
That's what I got.
fine boat, man. Yep, that's what you got right now.
Yeah.
He had a 130 for a little bit, and towing it was an issue.
Yeah.
Because water was coming right up through the center of it, and it was,
Lost it, what, twice?
Yeah.
Twice it broke. One was, no, that was the other one. No, but it was just that water.
It
Too
would-
much pressure.
it would swamp the back of the boat. The back of the boat would continuously be underwater. And they're not designed to do that. So the handles that have rivets and the rod holders and all those places where water could get in were submerged. So by the time we got to places, it would be very, very heavy. We'd have to take it out, and it's just not a boat you want to tow. That's for sure.
John Lagruda, thank you, buddy. Super chat, but you didn't leave me a question. If you super chat, say a question if you have one. We certainly want to answer it. Russell says, have another beer and stay south. Still snowing in Michigan. We hear you, brother. We watching that weather. You know what? If we would have left, or we didn't, well, we actually left a little late, but later. But if we would have left when we did and had no motors or no motor issues, we'd have been sitting waiting because it's been cold. This season's been crazy. This cold's hanging, and we wouldn't have been because
we're
where
in
we
really fine weather right now.
Yeah.
Cold is not maybe ahead of us. It's cold, but
No, I'm
we
saying
are
if we would have left on time and then not had any motor issues,
sure,
we'd have been sitting somewhere just like waiting for it to warm up there.
Darn, we would have been stuck somewhere, and all we would have to do is fish and make videos and hang out. And, that sounds awful.
Lisa and Adam said a lot less talking and a lot more fishing. All right, okay, you twist our arm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, today was what? I mean, we worked on the motors, took the dogs for a walk, slept late.
I worked on good times. I put in 2 shifter cables.
I feel like I've been busy today.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I did. I switched those hoses on the port motor and doing things that needed to be done. My chart plotter was wigging out on me, so I had to take the connections off and clean them with a wire brush so that I wouldn't lose my depth finder. She's very demanding, that Kon-Tiki.
Jack Scott said he's actually in Brooklyn, New York.
Hey, forget
Not
about
sure
it.
where it's at. Right on the water. We had a 150-foot dock space. If you're interested, let me know. Amazing fishing right under the
No kidding.
Verrazano Bridge, buddy. Because I won't be able to find it on here. If you send us an email at michaeljsteen.com, we'll definitely.
I wonder if that sounds pretty exposed. That's a big waterway under the Verrazano.
I bet he got a wall.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet. Well, if it's just a dock, maybe not.
Sure, we can come by and stay in for a little while and hang out as long as we're not getting beat up. When it's blowing and it's, I don't know. We assess every anchorage. Some are beautiful today, and tomorrow they're a nightmare.
Yeah, that's the way it happens.
Sure.
You got to be prepared to move.
Yeah, it's the direction of the wind. It's the strength of the wind. It's the tide swing. It's the depth of the water next to those places. We're constantly assessing. That's part of where the day goes, where you're just sitting in a chair looking at your phone, studying navionics. Man, if you could stay in one spot, not have to worry about such things, there'd be plenty of time for fishing. Not trying to complain, that's just the reality of traveling.
Yep.
Because we come to anchorages where people have clearly been here for years, not moving.
Holy crap! There's a sailboat.
Yeah.
There's more growing on that sailboat than on the
I took pictures of it. There's algae all over it. It's been hit.
We're saying, why are they paying for that mooring ball to let that boat just?
Yeah.
Could be dead or something.
Sure.
Maybe they got somebody died and they got a credit card and it's just paying.
Maybe.
Because I actually asked them at the marina today, because I heard them talking over the radio. Somebody was on a mooring ball and you're supposed to be off of them by 11, so if the next person can get in. And I heard them saying on the radio that so and so boat name was still on the mooring ball, and you got to go get them off because so and so's coming in. So then I asked him when we get in. I was like, so what happens if you die? Like, what happens if I was in a car crash on the way back and I'm dead, and and if Marty wasn't here, but whatever. And then he went on basically through. They had first send somebody to look at your boat, and then they try to, then they'll eventually call PD, and if you're dead in the boat, they'll deal with that, or
pleasant things.
No, but some of these boats, that's what you think.
Yeah.
You're like.
But the people that are actually living on boats, not the abandoned ones.
Yeah.
But the people living on boats, you see them kind of. I mean, they're busy too, because they got to ferry their dogs to shore, and they got to go get provisions. Maybe they got jobs they're going to.
One's got a kid.
Yeah.
Kid goes to school every day.
Yeah. I saw him. Yeah, and he's got his head down. He's on this little tiny dinghy, and he's just going along. And man, he pulls up, ties off, runs
How cool
off.
is that?
Runs off.
The school's right
late
around
for
the
school.
corner.
Yeah. So it's funny to see people on the water in a working state of mind instead of like, hey, look at me, I'm on a boat. Isn't this awesome? No, there's people that are actually working and living, but some of them have the true pirate life, man, where they're out there and they're not really doing much.
Yep.
Some of them might be retired and they ain't got no job. They
There's
ain't got nothing to do.
There's one. It's a guy. He's in college. He's living on his boat, saving money, and he goes to college.
Sure. Now he's probably spending time studying and stuff.
Yeah.
However, but some of these liverboards, they're out there
Yeah.
fishing all the time and living the life that I wish I could live, but we can't because we got to travel.
Yeah, we were just talking to a guy that's somewhere north, and we'll see, because it's like a lot of places people talk, whatever. But there's supposed to be a fairly remote anchorage up here, and we'll pass it. We'll see. But the guy said there's a lot of pirates living out there in that anchorage, but meaning just people that are not good characters. But
Sure.
the more remote areas like that could be. But like this little community, I'll do a walk around before we finish up here in just a minute. But we're in the mooring field, and I'll point out where the mooring field ends. The other day I did a mud club, and I was in the anchor area. You'll notice where the boats are a lot closer, but they're like a community. They know each other. They watch each other's boats. So when you're in a community like that sort of thing, everybody sort of looks out for everybody. It'd be like at home, They knew when I came in.
Like an RV park or something.
Yeah, it'd be like an RV park. They knew when I came in. They knew I wasn't normally there and whatever. So,
yeah.
But and they're it's cool to meet people like that. And I've sat and talked to several, and
He's better about that. Like I pull into a spot and I know all these eyes are on me, and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't, I want to be on the water just to be looking at water. I don't want to be looking in somebody else's boat. I don't want them looking in my boat. And that's when I get a little antisocial.
But we met a couple just yesterday. Just got married last Saturday,
Yes.
and they've just moved on to a catamaran down south, and we was trying to put her mind at ease, about, although it wasn't starting out good for her, because what did they say? The boat, they got a call, and she hadn't moved on it yet, but now she does.
Yeah.
But they got a call that the boat had broke loose from the mooring and was floating across wherever, and
on its way out to sea. Or
the
something.
towboat US had to go to run it down. I'm thinking, ooh, that'd be hard to talk your wife into staying when that can happen.
The only good thing about that type of thing is that it makes you realize that it's not just you.
Yeah.
When problems happen to you, you feel like, oh my God, I'm the only person in the world. I'm an idiot. Why, I don't deserve this or whatever. You start to beat up on yourself. At least I do. But the more people you talk to, you realize you're not alone. It's us against the elements, the sea, the.
Yep, that's what makes it. That's what makes it true.
That's the lesson that I'm going to get from this trip, I think.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. I gotta get on the road. I'll do a mud club in the morning from the farm, show you around a little bit there.
Get my mail.
You getting some mail, and I don't know, get more packages. I got packages.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, for those y'all come by on YouTube 7 o'clock on Thursday night is the book launch. Buy a book, I'd greatly appreciate it. Try to shoot up these Amazon.
It's a new book, huh?
It's the new book, yeah.
Cool.
So I'll have the new book, and I'll talk more about it next week or so, and do a giveaway with that. But Huguenot, for the those that come in late, Huguenot State Park on next Sunday, noon. Let me just say these again for people that came in late.
That's where the meetup is happening.
The meetup, the Great Loop Off, is at Huguenot Park in Jacksonville on April the 24th at noon in space number 25. Space number 25 around noon. We're gonna have I'm gonna have some barbecue and nachos. If you want to bring a side, that'd be awesome. And we're gonna have us
You bring a birthday cake for
like an old. Oh yeah, that's the 20.
That's a whole nother thing,
That's
like the 23rd is when I get yet a little bit older of this month. But one interesting caveat to me passing my birthday is that I cannot make it in time back to the tax collector to renew my license, which I have to do in person, because last year I did it online, and this year I got to go there and I got to take a vision test, and I can't make it. So, with your license. So my license to drive is going to expire that Friday. So don't ask me to drive you anywhere, because I can't legally do that. But I did talk to some people. They said that I have a year afterwards to renew it before I got to take a road test or some nonsense again. But heck, I don't drive anywhere.
Nope.
And I got a captain's license if I need ID. So I'm turning more and more into a recluse.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get rid of it. You're gonna have to not carry it. You can't in the state of Florida anyways. I don't know about the other states.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to turn in my registration.
I'm gonna turn it around here, guys, and give you a quick. This button will work. work, did it? Let's see. Here we go. All right, so this is the mooring field that we're in. You can see how everybody's lined up on the mooring balls. I'm on number 26, allegedly. But there's no number on it. I'm gonna come up front here and show you that. Kontiki, you see him right, second boat up there in the front. Try to do this without falling. This could be dangerous. So I bought this from, probably won't be able to see y'all's comments, guys. It's right out here. That's that new anchor I got. Big old honking dude, but that's the mooring ball. And you just hook up like this. Hook your blue line, it runs over and then over to there. And this is a new shock cord I bought. And this hooks on the anchor chain. It would run out front if I'm on the anchor. I'd hook it on the anchor chain. It takes the shock off of the boat. It could have came in handy. See little sailing boats where I had the picture? They're still out here. Kids are out. That's great. Kids out here learning how to sail. Around here. It's beautiful, isn't it? It really is. The lighthouse. That's the lighthouse at St. Augustine. Come on back around. That is toward the inlet at St. Augustine. The other way this is a dead end area. So I'm gonna come around, but you might can see right out there is the sand dunes of the beach. That's the beach right on the other side of that.
Right by the beach.
Yep. Somebody out there can't see this, wonder what it smells like. What's it smell like?
Clean.
It smells clean, yep. There's no really smell in the air. Today it's about
Crisp and wonderful.
yeah. Today it's about what's
Temperature 70.
70. It's cool
72.
right now.
Yeah, and that's in the heat of the day. You know, you see in the sun, it's warmer, but at night it's just enough to make your fingertips a little numb. Wonderful.
Yep. So that little letter right there, that shows that this is the mooring field. And if you go online, you could like get a picture and see it. We're in C, that's B, and by city ordinance, you can't be anchored in here, but you can anchor just outside of them. That's why I'll show you background. That's why you notice where the sailboats get. Oh, there's a bunch of them up there. They're just out of the mooring field. You can see the D sign on the D, I think, up there.
They're all over the place. They're in the channel.
Yeah. I was here a couple days before I realized it, but this is the channel that goes along here. You see the green marker right out there. And channel goes along, and then all the sailboats up there. And I didn't see it because the sailboat had it hid, but there's another marker right there, a green marker y'all can see. And those sailboats are all in the channel.
Yeah.
But pretty much you're not allowed to anchor beyond that little opening there. So they kind of let them get away with it. But all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm turning around here. It's kind of getting exciting again. We'll be moving. I think our plan is Friday. We're gonna try to move up Friday up towards Jacksonville. So Friday morning I'll probably be back, and we'll do another Mug Club Wednesday from the farm, probably one Friday from here, and give you some update. I'll probably do some live streaming on that one moving up, let you see the inlet as we go out, and that's gonna be cool. If the weather allows, we would run out, but it's kind of looking like it's not going to allow it. So
Yeah, one day after a hard blow, it could be kind of rolly out there, so
yeah,
we can
Yeah.
stay on the inside.
yeah, it's here's a nice run straight up. When you get up in Georgia and South Carolina and North Carolina, it gets really like this. 1 mile could be, as the crow flies, could be 3 in those back in those backwaters. So anyways, we'll be talking to y'all soon. Y'all try to make it to the book launch if you can. It's gonna be a good time.